What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be breaking down and comparing the C4 and the Canister Bomb in Call of Duty Ghosts. We're going to look at all of the important features and stats, as well as a lethal range comparison, which we will also compare to the ranges of the Frag and the Semtex that we calculated in an earlier video. And if you missed that Frag versus Semtex video that I did, there will be a link in the description, as well as an annotation at the end of the video. So unlike the Frag and the Semtex, the C4 and Canister Bomb can't be thrown very far unless you have the Strong Arm perk on. And we'll look at those ranges in just a little bit. But first, we're going to start things off by looking at the individual characteristics of these lethals. The C4 will explode only when detonated, and it will make your gun unavailable for use for a total of around 1.7 seconds when you're throwing it. And this is exactly the same as both the Frag and the Semtex. And also just keep in mind that this was tested with an SMG in your hand, and this will change with other weapon types. So for unique characteristics, the C4, just like I said, is a remotely detonated explosive, and it can also be stuck to surfaces. One little tip for detonating the C4 that some of you may be unaware of is you can double tap X on the Xbox or square on PlayStation to detonate the C4 without having to put your gun away and pull out a detonator, so it's much more efficient to detonate it in that way. Moving on to the Canister Bomb, it takes a little while to prime before throwing, and it explodes 3 seconds after the priming animation begins, as long as you're throwing it right away. And your gun will be down for a total of around 2.5 seconds, which is quite a long time in Call of Duty. So make sure you're safe when you decide to throw this piece of equipment. And once again, this was all tested with an SMG in hand. The unique characteristic of the Canister Bomb is the fact that it explodes quite quickly after you actually throw it. So it takes a while to prime, but once it's primed, you can throw it quite quickly and it'll explode quite quickly. So as long as you're accurate with the throw, the enemy has almost no chance to evade it. So a quick tip for using the Canister Bomb is to make sure you really think before throwing it. It's not one of those things that you'll want to use as a twitch reaction to a situation. It's usually best to think about it, prime it way early, and just hold it in your hand until it's time that you actually want to throw it. And this should prevent a bunch of those instances of you getting caught with your pants down while priming this equipment. Okay, so now let's look at the throwing distances of these two lethals. And as you can see, the Canister Bomb travels just a little bit further than the C4, but just like with the Frag versus Semtex, this is only due to the fact that the Canister Bomb bounced and rolled a little bit from the point it landed, and the C4 just stuck. So technically, you do throw the C4 and Canister Bomb the exact same distance. When you compare this distance to the Frag and Semtex, you really have a limited throwing range with the C4 and Canister Bomb, so make sure you're keeping that in mind. So finally, let's compare the lethal kill radius. I have the same disclaimer as in my Frag versus Semtex video. This was quite difficult for me to calculate and display 100% accurately without theater mode for you guys, but I did my best and I feel that it's very accurate to within a couple feet. So as you can see, both the C4 and Canister Bomb have the same kill radius, and when you compare it to the Frag and Semtex, it's actually quite large. So basically with these two lethals, you sacrifice a longer throw for a larger kill zone, and these work best when you can get fairly close to your target. So that's all I have for this breakdown of the C4 and Canister Bomb. I should have my IED breakdown out soon. If you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys next time.